As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead. Please, tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
working
let me answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page, Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146.
Hey everybody, welcome back to America Patriots, the channel where we call like we see it, defend truth, defend the Constitution, and occasionally defend our sanity, while watching DC try to explain its own budget spreadsheets. Before we get rolling, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and drop a comment below. Because around here, we don't get drowned out by Washington's word salads. When you subscribe, you help keep common sense alive on this platform. And trust me, someone has to. All right, let's dive into this clip because wow, this hearing was something. I've seen awkward family Thanksgivings that had more structure.
Laura?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick note before I get to my questions. Fentanyl seizures are down 30% compared to last year, and that data is coming from the Customs and Border Patrol, CBP. I don't make it up, but fentanyl seizures are down. At your confirmation hearing, you asserted that you will do everything in your power to prevent illegal gun runners in our country. Your budget request for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, proposes a cut of 26% below the current level. How can you justify such a massive cut without inevitably weakening ATF's ability to help our state and local law enforcement fight illegal gun trafficking? How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of this funding reduction you're proposing?
So I am a career prosecutor, and I believe in keeping America safe, making America safe. First, what we're doing is ATF is going to be brought over with DEA. Everyone knows, everyone sitting up here, guns and drugs go together. They go together. We're going to make it more efficient. What I will tell you will not be happening is ATF agents will not be knocking on the doors of legal gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns. They're going to be out on the streets. If I can finish, they're going to be out on the streets.
I have three minutes.
You asked me a question.
I did. And
you asked me a question.
And you
and
haven't
I'm gonna
answered
answer
my
it.
question.
So they're going to be out on the streets working
You haven't
hand in hand
answered my
with
question.
DEA
You
to
haven't
violate.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like an answer to my question. And the question is not being answered. How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of the funding reduction you are proposing? You are proposing a 26% cut to ATF for fiscal year 2026, as well as a 4.4% cut to DEA. So you're going to merge the two agencies together, and then you're going to shortchange their resources, so neither one of them will be able to do the job that they have been designed to do. You've got a 34% cut to the high-intensity drug trafficking areas program, no dedicated money at all for the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. So, my view, it's fair to say that the Trump administration proposal shortchanges federal efforts to stop illegal gun trafficking and federal efforts to stop the flow of dangerous illegal drugs like fentanyl.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
working
let me answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page. Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146 of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget, and the performance summary explicitly says, and let me quote, ATF will eliminate 541 industry operation investigators, reducing ATF's capacity to regulate the firearms and explosive industries by approximately 40% in fiscal year 2026. ATF will perform fewer regulatory inspections. And the department summary goes on to say, and let me quote, ATF anticipates a reduction of approximately 284 support personnel and 186 agents based on historical attrition patterns, and these personnel cuts will impact ATF across various functions, unquote. If the capacity to regulate firearms industry is reduced by 40%, if you are losing 186 ATF law enforcement agents on top of that, it is clear the direction you are headed with this budget, and that's what it is, isn't it? The proposal will weaken our ability to stop gun trafficking, and it will greatly reduce ATF support for state and local law enforcement that helps them prevent and solve violent crimes. It's a bad proposal.
Do you want to hear my answer in 3 seconds? You mentioned regulatory functions. We will not be having ATF agents go to the doors of gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns, period. They will be out on the streets with DEA, guns and drugs.
How many are
together.
gone?
It will be attrition. We are not firing agents. They will be working.
How many
with
have
DEA.
taken attrition?
Can I tell you that they all want to be on the streets? They want to be doing their jobs. They want to be
But you're getting them
seizing
off the
guns.
streets.
They want
You're getting
to.
them off
We're
the
putting
streets.
them on the
And-
streets.
and-
They want to be working with DEA.
You are getting them off
We
the
will be
streets. There is no
efficient.
clear, and Mr.
We will
Chairman,
be
I yield back my
efficient.
time. I yield back my time. Let's get some answers here.
So in this video, we've got Pam Bondi, who, by the way, comes into these hearings like someone who actually read the documents, and she's grilling the Attorney General about the budget cuts to ATF. Now remember, this administration is proposing a 26% cut to ATF, plus cuts to DA, plus cuts to every program that actually goes after drug traffickers and gun traffickers. And the Attorney General's big plan? Oh, don't worry. We're merging ATF and DEA because guns and drugs are like peanut butter and jelly. Listen, I like peanut butter and jelly too, but I don't want my national security decisions being made like someone's packing a kindergarten lunchbox. Pam Bondi asks, very clearly, very directly, how many agents are you losing? Simple question. Straightforward, not trickery, not algebra. And what does the Attorney General do? She starts giving a TED talk on how agents want to be on the streets and how no one's knocking on gun owners' doors in the middle of the night. Ma'am, no one asked about midnight door knocking. That wasn't even on the menu. Pam was asking for a number. A number. One number. Any number. It was like watching someone ask Siri for directions, and Siri answered a recipe for banana bread. Pam Bondi handled this exactly the way a patriot should. She stayed on target. She didn't let the conversation wander into the tall grass. She said, nope, we're staying right here until somebody answers a question. And then, because the Attorney General still would not give a number, Pam pulled out the receipts. Page 146. She literally quoted the administration's own document. 541 industry operations investigators eliminated. 284 support staff gone. 186 agents gone. A 40% reduction in regulatory capacity. Now, look, you don't have to be a math major to know that losing 40% of your people means you're not getting 40% more efficient. That's not how numbers work. That's not how anything works. The Attorney General kept saying, it's just attrition, like we're supposed to believe hundreds of people spontaneously decided they'd rather go start a food truck or something. This isn't attrition. This is budgeting people out of existence. And the whole time, Pam Bondi stayed locked in focus and determined while staying classy. No yelling, no insults. She just did what real leaders do. She demanded actual answers from a government that would rather dance around the truth than read its own report. Now here's the bigger point, and you know this if you've been watching politics for more than 5 minutes. You don't cut law enforcement resources and then brag about cracking down on gun trafficking and fentanyl. That's not strategy. That's not reform. That's not efficiency. That's like saying you're going to win the Super Bowl after firing half the team and selling the playbook on eBay. Pam Bondi was absolutely right to call this out. This administration says, we're fighting drug trafficking, but then cuts ATF, DEA, high-intensity drug trafficking areas, organized crime drug enforcement funding. I mean, if the goal is to make the cartels laugh so hard they can't run straight, maybe it's brilliant. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And I'll tell you what, watching Pam Bondi stand up for law enforcement, demand accountability, and refuse to let D.C. bureaucratic word-souffle take the place of real answers. That is why we need strong voices in hearings. That is what oversight is supposed to look like. So hats off to Pam Bondi. She came prepared, she kept her cool, and she sliced through the nonsense like a hot knife through a stick of government-issued butter. All right, Patriots, if you want more breakdowns, more common sense, and more people actually holding Washington accountable, hit that subscribe button right now. Thumbs up if you're tired of politicians pretending math is optional. Drop a comment telling me what you think about this budget and this hearing. This is America Patriots, signing off, where we read the footnotes so you don't have to.